If you can remember A, B, C, you can write better headlines as a copywriter or just anybody that needs to write marketing messages, selling messages that get engaged with, that get responded to. I want to share with you my three-part copywriting headline formula. And it's fairly simple. Again, if you can remember ABC, you can write better headlines. Now, I will say that this is not about like headline templates. And if you want my advice on using a swipe file, check out the link in the description because I have another video where I talked about the actual use of a swipe file and how it's a less effective way of writing copy. But there are still formulas that you can turn to that are like the core underlying principles and strategies of what a headline must accomplish, where you're not stealing tactically the words, the phrases that are used in other people's headlines, but instead you're writing something that's completely new and original and that like meets the market where it's at in this moment and speaks to them and connects with them. And that's where the breakthroughs come from. That's where the great headlines are written, not in trying to copy somebody else's effective headline, but rather saying, what do I need to say to my audience to engage with them in this moment and get them to engage with the rest of my marketing message such that they're going to be most likely to respond. And it comes down to getting three things right in your headline. And it's ABC, ABC, ABC. So what does A stand for? A is for audience. If I'm the member of your perfect target audience, if I'm like your perfect prospect for your marketing message, am I going to recognize in your headline that, okay, this is for me. This is like when I land on this page or I see the email arrive in my inbox or I go to the VSL or I go to my mailbox and I pull the mail out of my mailbox or however it is that I am first engaging with your message and seeing your headline, am I going to recognize, okay, this is for me. I know this is for me. And you can do that by like calling them out directly, like copywriters, how to write better headlines, right? You can do that. Or even just in talking about writing better headlines, this speaks to somebody without specifically having to call them out. Like, here's how I write better headlines. Here's my three-part copywriting headline formula. Like that speaks to copywriters without having to call them out, right? Then there's benefit. Benefit is B, benefit, right? Somebody has to know what kind of benefit they're going to get from engaging with your advertising message. Now, this can be the ultimate benefit, the biggest benefit of your product, but it can also be like the benefit of what they're going to discover as they engage with your marketing message. So there are lots of different value, like benefits and pieces of value that you can deliver through your marketing message. Like you can convey somebody, or you can reaffirm somebody's built-in beliefs. You can agree with them as far as an enemy or a conspiracy against them. You can actually deliver you can introduce them to a new opportunity, which is a value. You can help them understand their problem better and why they haven't been able to solve it. You can introduce them to a future event. You can help them understand a future event that's coming and how they're going to need to react to it. There are all sorts of different benefits and value that you can deliver through your advertising itself. And so don't think strictly in terms of, oh, I have to promise what the ultimate benefit of the product is. This should be connected. Like somebody who is interested in the ultimate benefit of the product should be interested in the benefit that they're going to get from reading, right? But the benefit that they're going to get from engaging, from reading, from watching your marketing message should be conveyed in the headline itself. And then C, number 3, the third thing. So A is audience, B is benefit, and C is curiosity. So what kind of story are you going to start in your headline? What kind of loop are you going to open up? What kind of promise are you going to make where it's unclear how you're going to fulfill on it until they dive deeper into your marketing message? So what can you do to stimulate your audience's curiosity in a way where the only way that they can get that curiosity fulfilled on, the only way that they can close that open loop is by engaging with your message, right? So audience, benefit, curiosity. I have my absolute favorite headline of all time is a old John Cable's headline, and it's "They laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play." And it's a very simple headline for a correspondence course on learning to play piano, right? And Caples, it was actually one of his favorite headlines, and you can tell that because he reused the same underlying formula over and over again. And that underlying formula, that underlying psychology is like, I was doubted and then I proved my doubters wrong, right? But it also, he opens up a story in that. And so how does he do this ABC headline formula in that? How does that meet this? And like, why is that concert pitch one of the best headlines ever written? Well, they laughed when I sat down at the piano. He didn't have to call you out and say, do you want to learn piano, right? He didn't. He just said they laughed when I sat down at the piano. So anybody that's curious about playing piano or wants to play piano is going to immediately say, ooh, this is for me. Like, I'm curious, right? And they're going to recognize I am the audience for this benefit. But when I started to play, that implies that he proved them wrong, like that he did actually play the piano well. Like there's an implication there. The benefit isn't even clearly stated. But he implies the benefit through this. They laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play, and the curiosity, like ... But when I started to play, what happened? Like, I want to know what happened. So it perfectly captures this three-part, this trifecta copywriting headline formula of audience, benefit, and curiosity. In this, they laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play. And it didn't have to match like a who else wants to learn to play piano and entertain a room. Like that's a dumb headline relative to this masterpiece that is the Caples. They laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play. And at the same time, like Caples could have sat down and tried to write out 100 different headlines for a correspondence piano course. And he could go through and he could look and he could say, okay, like when my perfect audience reads this, are they going to recognize that this is for them? Is there an implied benefit or a clearly stated benefit in the headline? Does this provoke curiosity such that they're going to want to read the next word? And like, that's ultimately the job of your headline. It's not to sell your product. It's not to convert, like the idea of headlines that convert or whatever, like that's kind of BS. The idea of the headline is to sell the next engagement and the next engagement, like the next line of copy, the next line of copy, the next line of copy. If it's on a VSL page, it's so they'll actually click play, or so that they'll stick around long enough for the first couple lines of copy in the VSL. All of that. And if you get that right, like that's what your headline needs to do. So if you like this content, be sure that you like the video so that the magical YouTube algorithms or the magical Facebook algorithms, wherever you're watching this, are going to know to share it with more people like you. You can also share the video yourself with other people who might find it valuable. Comment what's your experience like. Is this something that you apply in writing your headlines? Will this help you write your next headline better? And be sure that you're subscribed. You can subscribe here. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com to get more content like this from me about copywriting, marketing, business building, entrepreneurship, selling, personal development, and more. And if you want to go deep with me on how to write better copy faster, I have a program called High Velocity Copywriting that's part of my BTMS Insiders training library, where I actually go deep into 3 very specific big idea types for writing effective copy, and templates for how to write them, and so on. And it is designed to help you write better by understanding the underlying principles of what makes effective copy. So I'm Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.